let us continue the topic. Now the word is here series. If A1, A2, A3 up to AN be a sequence, then the expression A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to AN and so on is called the series corresponding to the given sequence. This is the difference between sequence and the series. If we are writing the number like this using the commas, then it is called what? Sequence. If these numbers are associated with each other with positive or the negative sign, then this sequence is called the series. Now here the term of the sequence connected by positive or negative sign form a series. Now let us see some more properties of arithmetic progression. If each of the term of an AP is increased by, decreased by, multiplied by or divided by a constant quantity, then the resulting sequence is still in AP. Let us understand with the help of example. I have considered this AP 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Now this is an AP as the difference between the consecutive term is the same. Now what we have written here, if each term of the AP is increased by or decreased by, multiplied by or divided by a constant quantity. Now I am adding 2 to the each term of this sequence. Then this becomes 5, this becomes 7, this becomes 9, this becomes 11, this becomes 13 and this becomes 15. I am adding 2 to the each term of this sequence. Now here again we see this sequence is again in AP. Similarly, if I am subtracting 1 from each term, then the sequence becomes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Again this is what? This is an AP. Similarly, if each term is multiplied by 2, then it becomes 6, it becomes 10, 14, 18, 22, 26. Again we are looking at this sequence is again an AP. Similarly, if each term of it is divided by 2, if I am considering this sequence and I am dividing the each term by 2, again the resulting sequence is what? It is an AP. I am dividing this sequence, each term of this sequence is by 2, then it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Again we are seeing that this is again an AP. So this is the meaning of this result. If to the each term of the given AP is increased by means added, decreased by means subtracted, multiplied or divided by a constant quantity, then the resulting sequence is still in AP. We can add or subtract or multiplied or divided any constant term to the all the terms of the given sequence. Now here let us see the next result. In an AP of n terms, the sum of the terms equidistant from the beginning and the ending is always same and is equal to the sum of its first and the last term. Let us explain with the help of example. Consider the sequence. I am considering this sequence 3, 7, 11, 15 and these are its last term 399, 403, 407. But it means the sum of the terms equidistant from beginning and the ending. It means if I am taking first term from the beginning and the first term from the last, the sum will be what? 410. Similarly, if I am taking the second term from the beginning and the second term from the ending, again the sum will remain the same. Let us see it here. The sum of the first and the last term is 3 plus 407, 410. Then I have taken the second term from the beginning and the ending. Then again 7 plus 403 is equal to 410. Similarly, the sum of the third term from the beginning and the ending, it is again equal to 410. This is the meaning of this result. The sum of the terms equidistant from the beginning and the ending is always equal. Now here one more thing. The sum of two AP is also an AP. The difference of two APs again an AP. For example, we have to given these two APs. 1, 3, 5, 7, another AP is what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. But we have written the sum of two APs. If I am adding the corresponding term of these two AP, it becomes 4, it becomes 9, it becomes 14, 19, 24, and again we see the resulting sequence is an AP. Similarly, if I am subtracting these two APs, their corresponding term, it becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is what? 6, and here we see again the resulting sequence is an AP. It means if the corresponding terms of two APs are added or subtracted, then the resulting sequences are again an AP. But it is not true in the case of product and division. Now here the sum of the first n terms of AP that we have done in the 10th class also. It is what? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term, d is the common difference, n is the number of terms. Or another result of sum of first n term is n by 2 into a plus l. A is the first term and l is the last term. In the 10th class we have done both these results. Now here let us see now the questions. If the pth term of an AP be q and the qth term be p, then prove that p plus qth term is 0. Now here the 11th class student, the concept of 10th and 11th both are the same, but only the questions are of higher order. Now here the pth term is given, qth term is given. Then we have to prove p plus qth term is 0. Now let me suppose let a be the first term and d be the common difference of the given AP, because whenever you have to discuss about AP you must know the first term and the common difference. We are supposing a be the first term and d be the common difference of the given AP. Now AP is given to be q and AQ is given to be p. So let us form the equations. Now AP means a plus p minus 1 into d. It is given to be q. Similarly, AQ is equal to a plus q minus 1 into d equal to p. These are given in the question. Now we have to solve these two equations to get the value of what? A and d. We can simply solve it by the method of elimination. Subtracting these two, we are getting a cancelled with a. Now here see carefully, d is common. We left with p minus 1 minus q plus 1. Do this step very much carefully. Is equal to q minus p. Then simplifying, you are getting here d into p minus q. Again taking minus common so that these two terms will remain the same. Taking minus common, p minus q. Now simplifying, you are getting d equal to minus 1. Now substituting the value of d in any one of the equation, we will find out the value of what? A. Now using 1, putting the value of d here, a plus p minus 1 into minus 1 equal to q. Now simplifying a minus p plus 1, do the calculation very much carefully, is equal to q. Then we are getting the value of a equal to p plus q minus 1. Now we know the value of a, we know the value of d, we can find out the any term. But in the question we have to find out p plus qth term. Then a p plus q is equal to a plus p plus q minus 1 into d. Putting the value of a and d, we are getting here, simplifying all the terms will be cancelled. So the result is equal to 0, that we have to prove in the question. It means AP is given, AQ is given, we have to prove that AP plus Q equal to 0. Now see the conclusion from this result. I am explaining it with the help of example. If the third term of an AP is 7 and the seventh term of an AP is 3, then we can say A3 plus 7 means the 10th term will be 0 by the help of this generalization of this question. It means A3 equal to 7, A7 equal to 3, then 3 plus 7, 10. It means A10 equal to 0. Sometimes it helps us in doing the multiple question very much easy if we are keeping the concept in mind. Now here let us see another question. If A, B, C, be respectively the x, the yth and the z term of an AP, prove that A into y minus z plus b into z minus x plus c into x minus y equal to 0. Again we have to use the same concept, but the level of the question has been changed. Now here small ABC already given in the question. Now again the first term and the common difference is not given. I am assuming let capital A be the first term because small a is already used in the question. Be careful about it. Let A be the first term and D be the common difference. Now it is given that the x term, it means AX, is given to be A, AY is given to be B, and AZ is given to be C. So therefore AX is what? Using the formula of nth term, capital A plus x minus 1 into D equal to A. Then the second is capital A plus y minus 1 into D equal to B. Then capital A plus z minus 1 into D equal to C, using the result of the nth term. Now we have to simplify these three equations to get the result. Now see how to do it. One way is we just putting the value of what? ABC here in the result to be proved. Then simplifying it, all the term will be cancelled and it is equal to 0. It is one of the way. It can be easily done. What we have to do? Putting the value of what? Small a, b, c in the result to be proved. When we should simplify, all the term will be cancelled. And one another way is here. Now what I am doing here, I am multiplying the first by what? Y minus z. The second equation by z minus x. And the third equation by x minus y. And adding all these three equations, we are getting the result. So we have written like this, multiplying both sides of the equation 1, 2 and 3 by y minus z, z minus x and x minus y respectively. I am getting this expression. Now adding this term left to the left and right to the right. Now when I am adding these vertically, a is, now here right hand side I have written here a into y minus z plus b into z minus x plus c into x minus I. First I have written the right hand side because this I have to prove. Then the left hand side, when I am adding all these terms, a is common, y minus z plus z minus x plus x minus y. Then again in this expression d is common. I am writing y minus z into x minus 1 plus z minus x into y minus 1 plus x minus y into z minus 1. When I am simplifying all the term in the bracket, all the term will be cancelled. Therefore we can say a into y minus z plus b into z minus x plus c into x minus y equal to 0. You can do the calculation in any way, but do the calculation very much carefully. Now here let us see another question. If a, b, c are in AP, then show that a into 1 upon b plus 1 upon c, b into 1 upon c plus 1 upon a and c into 1 upon a plus 1 upon b are in AP. Now this is somehow the different question. In this type of question, we always assume what we have to prove. It is given a, b, c are in AP. Now we have to prove these terms are in AP. But we are doing the question in the converse order. Let I am supposing let these are in AP. I am supposing let always we will start this question by this method. Let these three terms are in AP. If these are in AP, I am simplifying these terms. Opening the bracket, it becomes a into b plus c by bc. It becomes b into c plus a upon ca. It becomes c into a plus b upon ab. Now here adding 1 to each term. I am using the result. If equal quantity is added to the each term, then the resulting sequence are in AP. Now I am adding 1 to the each term of this AP. Then adding 1 to each term, I am getting this here. Now again simplifying it, I am getting here AB plus BC plus CA upon BC. Again AB plus BC plus CA upon AC. Then again AB plus BC plus CA upon AB. Now I can divide throughout by this common quantity. The resulting sequence will be again in AP. Then it becomes 1 upon BC, 1 upon CA, 1 upon AB are in AP. Now again what I am doing here, Then multiplying each term by the constant quantity A into B into C. Multiplying each term by A into B into C. Again simplifying, I'm getting here A, B, C are in AP, which is given in the question, hence proof. This is the way to do the question of this type. The question is A, B, C are in AP, then we have to prove that these terms are in AP. What I have done, that what I have to prove, I am supposed let these are in AP, then I am reaching at the result given in the beginning. I am supposing these are in AP, then simplifying, then adding 1 to the each term, then again simplifying, then dividing here each term by AB plus BC plus CA, because we can divide each term of an AP by equal quantity, then the resulting sequences are in AP. On the first page we have studied all these results. Then again multiplying the each term by A into B into C and simplifying it, I am getting here A, B, C are in AP, which is given, hence proved. Now here, when the question is here, this is again the important point, CTM is considered to memory. When I am mentioning here with the question CTM is, you have to consider to memory. When sum is given, to choose, when in case of AP the sum of 3 term, 4 term or 5 term is given, always we have to choose the term. When 3 terms we have to choose, we always choose the terms A minus D, A plus D. If I have to choose 4 terms whose sum is given, then I always choose the term A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D and A plus 3D. Similarly, in the case of if I have to choose 5 terms, I will always choose A minus 2D, A minus D, A plus D and A plus 2D. This we have to keep in mind. Only in that condition when the sum is given, because when we adding all these terms, 3 terms we are adding, then we are getting D will be cancelled. Again in this, again D will be cancelled. Again in this, when adding, D will be cancelled, then it make our question easier. Now let us see the application of this result. Find the 3 numbers in AP whose sum is 21 and the product is 315. Then again we have to take 3 numbers in AP whose sum is given. So let the 3 numbers be A minus D, A plus D. Now sum is given, we can add these 3 terms. It is given to be 21. Then simplifying, we are getting A equal to 7. Then the second, the product is given, putting the value of A equal to 7 and multiplying it, we are getting the product. It becomes 7 minus D into 7 plus D equal to 315. Again simplifying it, A minus B into A plus B, A square minus B square. Then taking this 7 to this side, it becomes 45. Again simplifying, we are getting here D square equal to 4, D equal to plus minus 2, because D can be positive, it may be negative. So we are accepting both the values of D. Now the required numbers are, first taking A equal to 7 and D equal to 2. Putting here, we are getting the numbers 5, 7, 9. Then again taking A equal to 7 and D equal to minus 7. We are getting the terms what? 9, 7 and 5. So this is the way to do the question of this type. If I am choosing the number like this, it makes our calculation easy, because D is easily cancelled. Now let me explain another type of this question. Now here the angles of a quadrilateral are in AP. The greatest angle is double the smallest. Find all the angles. Now we have to find out the angles of the quadrilateral, and a quadrilateral has 4 angles, and we also know the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. So I am taking, let the angles be A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D and A plus 3D. Now we know the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. It will give us the value of what? A equal to 90 degree. Then I am using the second condition here. The greatest angle is double the smallest. Now it will be the greatest angle, it will be the smallest angle. It is given, putting the value of A, the greatest angle becomes 90 plus 3D equal to, double means 2 times the smallest, 2 times 90 minus 3d. Again simplifying this expression, I am getting the value of what? D here. Now putting the value of A and D here. In this we are getting the angles, one it will be 60, then 80, then 100 and 120 degree. This is one of the important question of this exercise. Similarly, we have to take the angles, we have to tell the angles of a pentagon. We can take the 5 angles in the pentagon and some other condition is given. Again we can find out the angle of the pentagon in the same. This is all about today. Now you have to try the question of exercise 9.2. Thank you.